it's Anita from Scrappy Happy Mommy, and I'm back today with another card for you. Today I'm going to be using my Winter Lace Cricut cartridge, and this is one of the specialty cartridges, and I found that if I use these DVD cases, I can put the pamphlet that comes in, and then the overlay for my Cricut, the cartridge itself, and then of course the little manual that comes with it. So I've always found these work really good, and I haven't used this cartridge in a lot. So the card that I'm making today is going to be a snow card, and this is going to measure A2. So when it is scored, it does measure your 5.5 by 4.25. This is going to be a different card than I'm used to making, and I'm only having one mat today, and it is a silver. So I have a blue card base and then a silver on top of it. And this mat right here measures 4 3/4 by 3.5. But on the silver mat, what I'm going to do is I cut 4 strips of paper, and I want to use some of these scraps that I have been hoarding, like every other crafter. And every one of these strips measures 3 1/4, so 3 1/4 by 1 1/8. So I'll put those down in a second, and then I have a piece of ribbon that's going to go on it, and then I'll show you what I used from my Winter Lace cartridge. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to line these up how I want them on the silver card base. And as mentioned, these are all scraps, so this is a perfect way of using up some of those scraps that you've been hoarding. And the design I'm using today can be irreversible. You can use it on so many things. So you can make a birthday card out of this, wedding, doesn't matter. But I thought it was perfect in using up all of those scraps. So that is how it is going to look. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering these down. So as mentioned, every single one of these scraps measures 1 1/8 by the 3 1/4. And I've gone ahead and just from the little scraps that I've had in my Christmas, I've gone ahead and made 10 different cards using these. And this is just my winter ones. So I needed to break from all the Christmas stuff that's been happening, and I thought that I'd use some of the Christmas papers that I have. And I'll go ahead and use some of these as thank you cards or thinking of you cards or whatever I want at the time. So there is my card itself, and there's every single one of those. So the next step I'm going to do is just add a little strip of ribbon, and this is a gray ribbon, and I'm just going to add this right in the middle, just like that. And I'll turn it over and adhere this down. And this is going to go right on top of my card base. And I'll make sure that I center it. So there is the card base itself with every one of those strips. These are 4, and then of course the silver mat onto the blue card itself. So the cartridge, as I mentioned earlier, I used as Winter Lace, and I cut the image at 2 1/4, and I used accent 4. And accent 4 is this snowflake right here. So it is on the 3rd row, and it's the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you it, and there it is. So the one that I used is not this snowflake right there. What I used is the blackout feature. I had originally hoped to put that down, but I wanted my sentiment, so I just used the blackout feature, and I cut that snowflake at 2 1/4 inches, and there it is. And the other thing that I did is I used my Martha Stewart, and this is the sterling silver. I used that for embossing powder. And I used a sentiment from Bug Bites, and this is the mistletoe, and the one I used was the Let It Snow. And the Let It Snow is right there. And what I did, just to give it that icy feel, is I embossed it using that silver embossing powder. I think you can see it ever so often. And on the outside of the snowflake, I added some Recollections silver glitter glue. And I'll move that as best as I can, and hopefully you can see it. So there is the finished product. And all I'm going to do, you can add foam tape to it if you choose, but today I don't want to add foam tape to it. So I'm just going to adhere the snowflake down right there. And that is my very, very, very quick and simple card. I don't have an intimate sentiment yet for the inside because I don't know what I'm going to say or what I'm going to use it for. Again, very quick, very simple card, perfect for using your scraps. And my theme today was a lot of blues and silver tones. So I hope you enjoyed today, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back again. Bye.